It's time for your annotated bibliography. The annotated bibliography is the next weekly assignment in the research assignment series. This week's assignment will be to take your bibliography from last week to the next level by adding annotations. Annotations aren't that much fun, but they won't kill you. In fact, they're a bit like eating your veggies or taking your vitamins. So, what is an annotated bibliography? It's a pretty scary set of words and might sound more like a spell or incantation than something you're totally capable of writing. It's really not as scary as it sounds. An annotated bibliography is a list of sources for a research paper in which the writer has provided a citation for each source, a brief summary of each source, and a comment about its quality and usefulness. For your annotated bibliography, I'm looking for a brief reminder of your topic, around 50 words, 4 to 6 sources, alphabetized or in logical order, 4 to 6 citations in MLA, APA, Chicago, or whatever style you want, a summary of each source in 50 to 100 words, quote sandwiches, a comment about each source's usefulness and quality in 25 to 50 words. The nuts and bolts should be no surprises here, other than the fact that this is just going to be as long as it needs to be. Everyone's is going to be a little different. You'll notice on the grading guide that the bulk of the points will be going to your summaries of your sources. Last week, you should have gotten your sources correct and in order. And you'll even be able to copy and paste your topic reminder. The big challenge this week is getting those summaries and evaluations written. All of the activities this week are designed to help you create these summaries and start thinking about incorporating your sources. Let's look at an example. This is mine. Notice that I have my title. You can call this a working title, and it can and probably should change as you get further into the writing process. Next, you can see my topic reminder. Then you have the first citation. I've alphabetized them by author's name, so the article from the ISU website begins with the letter H as our first letter. Sometimes if there's no author, you just start with the next first item that comes in your citation. And in this case, it was the title of the article. Notice I've given my citation a hanging indentation. In Word, if you want to do that, you highlight the citation, right-click, select Paragraph, and then under Indentation, click Special, and select Hanging. In Google Docs, it's kind of similar. You highlight the citation, select Format in the top menu, go to Align and Indent, click Indentation Options, and then under Special Indent, select Hanging. Next, I have a paragraph-length summary of the source. Notice that I've included a few quote sandwiches of my favorite quotable moments from my source. I'll probably want to use at least one of those quotes when I start writing the rough draft, so it's nice to have it ready to go here in my annotation. All I'll have to do is copy and paste if I want to use that quote later. Then I have my comment about the usefulness of the source and how I plan to use it. This is really helpful to simply identify what you have and what you still might need as you continue to work on your research. Finally, you get the next citation, and after adding a space for readability. Let's look more closely at a specific annotation. I'm not going to read this whole thing out loud. It is a description of one of my articles. Notice though, in the first part of my annotation, I have all those attributive tags naming the author. These summaries should be the same strategies that you used with your 3 summaries at the beginning of the semester. Notice that every single sentence in that summary includes an attributive tag saying, noting the author, or in one case saying she. Then in my commentary about the source's usefulness, I shift into talking about the sources using my own voice, using I. I will be doing this. I also plan to do that. I think it's helpful to add a paragraph break between the summary and commentary on your annotations. For your sources, remember to think creatively about the types of materials you'll use. Interviews, newspapers, magazines, and websites are all on the table. Check other schools' websites. Schedule an interview. Revisit the Bibliography Introduction PowerPoint or lecture if you need more ideas for sources. You don't need to use scholarly journals, but please go further than Wikipedia. And if you do use Wikipedia, please go into the sources listed on Wikipedia's reference page at the bottom. Just a reminder, you're going to need sources that prove there's a problem, prove the problem is worth solving, show your solution will work, and show that your solution is the cheapest, most effective, most feasible, easiest, etc. Also, don't forget about the opposing view. See my introduction to bibliographies for a full defense of why you need to use sources. But I will mention that the usefulness of annotated bibliographies is that you will have ready-made summaries and quotes that you can copy and paste into your final paper. It also helps you maintain control over your sources and avoid inadvertent plagiarism. It also helps you to stop procrastinating. Okay, I'm going to say it again. Contact me or our librarian, Jenny, if you're struggling. Our library is a resource intended for students, and learning to use it well will be really helpful to you as you get further into your studies. Happy annotating!